Dear friends, welcome back to BIOZEE classes. In today's session, let us discuss about the last topic of the chapter, human reproduction, that is parturition and lactation. Parturition and lactation. So here let me tell you, dear friends, that in case of human beings, as I said you, pregnancy will last for a period of 9 months and 3 days, or approximately around 273 days. We call that too as gestation period, or pregnancy we call that as. Let me tell you, dear friends, after the pregnancy is completed, so or at the end of pregnancy, we can find vigorous contractions. So vigorous, continuously we can find the contractions, in fact, which occur in the uterus. So when this occurs, there is expulsion or delivery of the baby. That we refer it to as parturition, dear friends. So how can you define parturition? Parturition can be defined as a stage after pregnancy, that is, which results in the vigorous contraction of uterus and causes the expulsion or delivery of the baby or the fully developed fetus. We can also refer to parturition as childbirth. Remember, dear friends. Moving ahead, let me tell you one important aspect here, that is with respect to fetal ejection reflex. So what do we mean by fetal ejection reflex, dear friends? Let me tell you, as I said you, if parturition or the delivery of the baby, if it has to occur, the signals for the same, originate from the fully developed fetus as well as the placenta. So when these signals in fact occur, so these signals which occur from the fully developed fetus and the placenta, they induce mild contractions, mild uterine contractions. So dear friends, these mild uterine contractions are here referred to as fetal ejection reflex, or this fetal ejection reflex can also be represented as a neuroendocrine mechanism. Because here the endocrine system to go with the signals from the central nervous system are very much necessary for these mild uterine contractions to occur from the fully developed fetus and the placenta. Remember, dear friends. Further, moving ahead, when fetal ejection reflex occurs, when fetal ejection reflex, that is the mild contractions occur in the fully developed fetus and the placenta, so there is in fact secretion or the release of oxytocin. Okay, so it can also be referred to as pitocin, from where it is released from the maternal pituitary. From the pituitary gland of mother, there is release of oxytocin, which is due to the fetal ejection reflex. Now, what is the role of this oxytocin, dear friends? This oxytocin is very important because it acts on uterine muscles and causes uterine contractions. So, in fact, let me tell you that the uterine contractions after the release of oxytocin continues further, so that there are more stronger and stronger contractions. So when these stronger contractions are seen, when they are seen, when they are observed with respect to the mother, let me tell you, my dear friends, it results in the expulsion of the baby outside the uterus. So from where it will come outside the body of the mother, that is from the birth canal, we call that too as the vagina. Okay, so these are few important aspects pertaining to the parturition or the delivery of the baby, dear friends. Further, let me tell you few important aspects about the lactation as well. First of all, let me tell you that the mammary glands of the female will differentiate during pregnancy, later stages of pregnancy mainly. So after that, it starts to produce milk towards the end of pregnancy. When it starts to produce the milk at the end of pregnancy, the process here is referred to as the lactation. For this lactation to occur, again we need an important hormone called, as we have discussed about it, that is prolactin. So let me tell you, dear friends, this milk is very important for most of the developmental aspects of the baby. Let me tell you few important aspects. Initial days of lactation, that is, let me say for example around 2 to 4 days of initial lactation, initial secretion of milk after birth, will secrete an important milk, yellowish milk. We call that as colostrum. So this colostrum, dear friends, is rich in two important, let me tell you, components. One is the lactalbumin, and to go with lactalbumin, it is also rich in lactglobulin. I am talking here about the initial secretion of milk called colostrum, which occurs during first 2 or 4 days. So this lactalbumin and lactglobulin are important for the formation of antibodies. Remember friends, the protective proteins to protect the baby against the infective agents. The antibodies need to be produced. So for that, lactalbumin and lactglobulin are important. So lactalbumin and lactglobulin are secreted from the colostrum, that is the initial days of lactation will have this yellowish milk. Dear friends, when this happens, when the baby feeds colostrum, let me tell you, it becomes very much resistant against the diseases, and the immune system of the baby is boosted up. That is why we say that breastfeeding during the initial period of infant growth is highly recommended by doctors. When this happens, the bringing up of healthy baby is possible. So these are the few important aspects, dear friends, pertaining to parturition and lactation you need to remember. So here in this session we have completed the chapter human reproduction. Please do like, subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you very much.